Today, we're going to look at some things that completely shocked Americans when they first visited the Netherlands and see what kind of Dutch culture shocks they experienced. So, being Dutch, I'll give you my insight and perspective on these Dutch things that completely blew them away. So, let's start with the first one.
I'm an American living in the Netherlands, and here are a few things at a Dutch grocery store that my fellow Americans just would not understand. Where's all the sugar in all of our Coke products?
The sugar. I feel like there's a lot of sugar in our Cokes. I feel like that's a known thing for the Coke in the Netherlands, where people are like, okay, there's a lot of sugar in Coke, but I guess there's even more sugar in American Coke. I guess it doesn't surprise me, but it's a little bit concerning if the sugar in our Coke isn't that bad, or that she's wondering where it is, because it's definitely there.
This entire section of breakfast sprinkles, eggs that are not refrigerated, shelf-stable milk, and we can't forget the entire aisle dedicated to black licorice, aka drop. Stay tuned for more.
I thought I would let it play, but so she showed the Dutch sprinkles. We do love some sprinkles on our bread. There's all different kinds of sprinkles. Like, of course, you have the classic, the hagelslag, just chocolate sprinkles. Then you also have kind of these fruit ones that they have a different texture as well. They're like crumbly. You also have kind of, it's like a different shape. We do have a variety of those, and in American grocery stores, you'll see a lot of different cereals and stuff. So I guess our version of that would be that aisle, the hagelslag selection, which is sprinkles, because our cereal collection is not that big, or a selection. So yeah, maybe that's our version. And then she mentioned that the eggs aren't refrigerated, which we've seen mentioned in another video as well, if you've watched the grocery store video on my channel. So I didn't even know that was a thing, because I didn't really eat eggs when I was in the US, so I didn't really pay attention to where they were located, and I didn't realize that they weren't refrigerated, or that they are refrigerated in the US apparently. And so apparently it's something to do with something from the egg that they removed, so that they have to now be refrigerated. So I don't know what the benefit of that is. If you can let me know if you know that, then that would be great. And lastly, she showed the licorice. Yeah, of course, that's a Dutch thing. I think if anyone knows anything about the Netherlands or the stereotypes, then they might have heard that. We do love some licorice.
3 things that I think are weird about living in the Netherlands being American. Number 1 is going to be hanging backpacks off of the flagpole when you graduate high school. I think it's odd. There's a million other kids that graduated too. I don't think it makes you very special. You don't need to hang your backpack off the flagpole.
Yeah, it does make you special. It's just a Dutch tradition that we have. For some reason, I don't really know what the reason is. Again, maybe if you're Dutch and you know how this came about, then you could let us all know in the comments. Because I have honestly no idea when it started and who started it and what the reason for it was. But now it's just a tradition that we have when, parents are proud of their children graduating, that they put the backpack on the pole. I know my mom definitely did that, and at least when I graduated high school, and of course being a teenager, I was like, no, it's not necessary. But I get that parents are just proud of their children, and they just want to celebrate that they graduated. It's more, just a celebration that we have and do when kids graduate.
Number 2, swim diplomas. I don't get it. I don't have a swim diploma. I can swim okay. Most of the time, you don't even get asked if you have one. So what's the point?
I mean, I get that, kind of, because you don't get asked for a swim diploma ever. This fridge wanted to jump in. But yeah, you don't get asked for the diploma, but it's more of a thing for kids to motivate them to get the diploma and have as a kind of like a trophy that they got their diploma and that they now can swim. And I do think that being able to swim, especially in the Netherlands, is a very good thing to be able to do. And if I ever have kids, I definitely want them to be able to swim, and I'll put them in swimming classes. But yeah, I agree that diploma is not really necessary, but I still think it's nice for the kids to have as like a celebration.
And number 3, when people say congratulations to you for your wife's birthday or your girlfriend's birthday, I feel like they should say congratulations to that person, given it's their birthday.
Yeah, this also came up in another video I did before. I don't know why we do that, but yeah, if I had to explain it, it would kind of be like, I guess, including people in the celebration, the shared celebration of the person. I guess that's how I could best describe it. If you're Dutch and you have a better explanation, then also definitely give your explanation. Let's go to the next TikTok. This one has copyright music, I'm pretty sure, so I have to mute it, and I'm just going to read it to you all. So, can someone please tell me why potatoes in Europe are sold with literal dirt on them? How is this even allowed? Can't you catch salmonella and other diseases by eating these potatoes? Crazy. I am unsure if this is satire or if this is a real question. How are they sold in the US, first of all? Then I haven't really noticed when I was there. Are they just like cut up and packaged in a bag, like how we also have them? So do you not have the actual potatoes in its real form, like a whole potato that you can buy? I'm genuinely confused. What's lost in translation here, or how this goes in the United States, because I thought it was common sense that if you don't sell them like this, that they're just gonna mold pretty quickly and you can't eat them anymore. And like, what's the bad thing about them being sold like this? Because they have dirt on them, but then you wash them, then you peel them, and then you cook them, boil them, fry them, whatever you're gonna do with them. But it doesn't affect anything in the eating process.
The Netherlands, and I've noticed a few things Dutch people do that are super cute and wholesome to me that might just be normal to Dutch people, so I wanted to share them with you guys. Here are 5 things I've noticed. Number 1, Dutch people sing when they talk. I don't know if Dutch people realize they do this, but they have a sing-songy kind of tone, especially when they say goodbye to each other in Dutch. Goodbye in Dutch is doei, and they'll be like, doei. I don't know how to do it, but they'll sing basically when they talk. which I think is like the cutest thing ever.
That was actually, she did it pretty good. That sounded like a Dutch native to me, but I guess that's true. We do kind of sing, or at least some people do, especially women, I feel like. And yeah, they'll do it when they say goodbye. They say doei, doe. Or also when they say hi, say hello, hoi. Yeah, it sounds really cringe when I am doing this right now, sitting here talking to this camera. But I don't know why we do this. But don't Americans also kind of do this sometimes? I feel like they do it as well. When sometimes I've heard it. Let's just move on.
2, couples on bikes has to be one of the most wholesome things ever. They will ride their bicycles next to each other and hold hands, or the guy will ride the bicycle and the girl will jump on the back or the handlebars. I don't know how you guys balance, but Dutch couples on bikes, so wholesome.
I'm personally not sitting on handlebars. I'm that feels too risky for me. And I do not trust anyone, especially not myself, to do that and not fall. I'm also not holding hands while I'm biking. That's just too inconvenient for me. But I guess some people do it, and that's kind of cute.
3, I do not know what it's called, but they don't have school buses here in the Netherlands. So when the kids are in school or in daycare and the teachers want to take them out to do something, the teachers have a bike with a special attachment that fits like 6 to 8 kids. And you'll see teachers just biking a huge class of kids around during the day, which I think is the coolest and cutest thing ever. I love seeing the kids on the bike. Like in America, if you were going somewhere during school, you'd just hop on a school bus. But here it's like, hop on the bike. Number 4.
I think, is she talking about like a buckfeet? I feel like we don't really go out during the day when you're at school unless you have a trip planned or something. And then they might tell you to come by bike so that you can all bike together somewhere. Or if you're going to the Efteling, which I did multiple times during my school days, they would just rent get a bus to come, and you would all just get in a bus and go to the Efteling. But maybe this is more of a daycare thing that they do that. I haven't personally seen it, but it's kind of cute.
No matter where you go or what day it is, you will always see someone buying fresh flowers. Dutch people love fresh flowers, and there's something about fresh flowers that's just so wholesome. And lastly,
I can't really comment too much on that because my mom kind of hates flowers. So we did not do that. And now I kind of like flowers, but then some of them I really don't like the smell of.
5, Dutch people are pros at throwing dinner parties at their house and inviting friends over into their home and cooking for them, which I think is the cutest, most wholesome thing ever. Because in the US, you wouldn't really do that. You would always just go out to eat with friends if you wanted to hang out with them. So being invited to people's houses for dinner is very wholesome to me. I wonder if Dutch people even know that they do those things that I mentioned, or if it's just one of those things you grew up with so you don't even think twice about it, but wholesome, guys.
Yeah, we definitely grew up with these things. And I do think that's true, yeah, that in the US they usually go out to eat together at a restaurant. From what my American boyfriend told me, they would, if they want to hang out or if he wants to hang out with his friends or something, they might go to a restaurant and then eat there together instead of going to each other's houses. So maybe we do that more often than Americans might, which I also think is kind of nice, that you're welcoming people into your home and it's kind of intimate. And You can get to know them a little bit better by also seeing their house, which I like, and I don't always want to go out to eat, especially because I'm introverted. So it's nice to just go to each other's homes.